LLMs, those large language models, and the tools that we're using in AI have now taken a giant leap forward. We're seeing some major things that are different than what we did before. Now you can use it as your thinking partner. Your thinking buddy can be ChatGPT or Grok or Perplexity or Gemini. All of these and others give you that ability. I'm going to show you in this video how you can do that, how you can use it to make decisions, to think through ideas, and really get a competitive advantage, improving your business when you'll be thinking of areas that you might not have thought of before. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So let's get into it right now. What I'm going to do is I've got my phone here. I'm using my Android. This is my Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. I also have an iPhone, so you can do this on Android and on iPhone. Does it real well. And I want you to see exactly how I'm going to do it. What I'm doing here is I'm setting this up and I'm going to set up my screen. So I'm just going to press the little button down here in the lower right corner and you'll see what's happening on the screen. It's lit up like that. Well, ChatGPT, how you doing today, by the way?
Oh, I'm doing great, Terry. Thanks for asking. Just happy to be here and ready to help out. So let's dive in whenever you're ready and we'll have some fun with it.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I got a question. I like to do a lot of live streaming, but also enjoy doing recorded videos. I think there's advantages to both, but I'm wondering which is better. Live is kind of like real time. I'm there and you can bring people on when you bring on the comments that people might have. But then sometimes you make an oh, whoops, if you know what I mean. Oh, and then you're stuck and you think, oh, it's terrible. So I think the live is good, but then I also like recording because you make an oh, whoops in a recording. Hey, you can stop it and go back and change it. That's kind of nice. But then also it doesn't have that live interaction with people. So which do you think I should do? What is the absolute best one to use?
Well, Terry, I love how you laid that out because it's a really relatable dilemma, right? I mean, live streaming definitely gives you that spontaneous in the moment connection. People can chat with you. You can have that real time back and forth. And yeah, sometimes you might have a little whoops moment, but that's part of the charm. It's like being on stage. People appreciate that authenticity. On the flip side, like you said, recorded videos give you that polish. You can edit out any little flubs. You can fine tune it so it's exactly how you want, but you lose that kind of in the moment connection. So here's my take. There really isn't an absolute guess one. It's more about what fits the situation and maybe even mixing them up. You can do some live streams when you want that immediate audience interaction, and you can do recorded videos when you want a little more control. So I'd say let's do both and enjoy the best of both worlds.
Well, that makes sense. It's not either or. It's both and, as we like to say often. But help me on this. If those that are watching this right now are content creators, those that are listening to this on the audio form, because we're going to repurpose this. I've heard that repurposing is a really good thing. So we're going to do that. But we want to know what would be a good schedule. Would it be good to put out, say, 3 or 4 live streams every day? Or would that be a little bit overkill? Or would it be good to do only one a week, maybe one a month? What are your thoughts on the frequency, particularly if you're in an environment like LinkedIn, let's say, and you're going to do some streams and then some carousels and then some posts and a newsletter? Seems like it could get overwhelmed. What would you recommend would be something good that our viewers, our listeners, our readers should consider?
Absolutely, Terry. And you're spot on. Repurposing is a fantastic idea. I love that you're thinking about that. So, when it comes to frequency, especially for a platform like LinkedIn, it's definitely a balance. You don't want to overwhelm your audience by doing 3 or 4 live streams a day. That might be a little bit much, but at the same time, you want to be consistent enough that people know when to expect you. So, a good rule of thumb might be something like 1 live stream a week on LinkedIn if you're just starting out. That way, you can build a rhythm and your audience knows, hey, Tara goes live on Thursdays at 2 p.m. or whatever side you choose. And then you can fill in with other content like carousels, posts, and newsletters on other days. Maybe you're posting something 2 or 3 times a week in different formats, and that keeps things fresh without making it feel like you're just constantly flooding them. So I'd say start with maybe 1 live a week, couple of other posts or carousels during the week, and a newsletter maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. And from there, you can see how your audience responds and then adjust. It's all about finding that sweet spot.
Yeah, and it seems like the sweet spot could be changing. Correct me if I'm wrong. What do you think about this? But it seems like what might be a good time, say Tuesday at 2 o'clock, might be real good for a while with your audience. But then for whatever reason, it changes so that now it's more Wednesday at 5 o'clock or whatever it might be. What are your thoughts on that and changing, and how do we keep up with that?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Terry. That sweet spot can definitely change over time, and that's perfectly normal. I mean, audiences evolve, people's schedules shift around, and sometimes you just notice that your engagement is a little higher at a different time. So the best thing to do is just keep an eye on your analytics. Platforms like LinkedIn or YouTube or wherever you're streaming usually give you some insights into when your audience is most active. And from time to time, you can just experiment, try a different time slot, see how it goes. And if you notice that your audience is more engaged, you can shift accordingly. The main thing is just to stay flexible and not feel like you have to lock yourself into one schedule forever. Think of it like a conversation with your audience. You're just adjusting to when they're most ready to listen, and that keeps everyone happy. So, yeah, keep it flexible, keep it fun, and you'll do great.
Okay, well, let me shift over just slightly here, but on something that's related to that. We're looking at Ask Studio, which is part of YouTube Studio now. We've done several videos on that. I put them out there, and people really like that. Remember when we were doing a workshop recently, people really liked that, and they got the most out of it. Many said that was just the best part of the workshop. And so I'm wondering, could we use a tool like Ask Studio, which is in YouTube Studio, start using that more? I got a feeling we're going to see more of that coming out with LinkedIn, with TikTok, probably with Facebook, and with all the other social media platforms, something like that, a coach that is specifically geared toward that particular format, that platform, showing us what to do. And right now, I'm finding I'm getting some real good feedback from Ask Studio on that. What are your thoughts on that in general, just as you look at the changing environment where we are today with social media and with video and using AI tools, well, like you, ChatGPT, to get answers?
Yeah, absolutely, Terry. I think you're spot on that this is kind of the direction things are heading. Having these built-in AI coaches or assistants right inside platforms like Ask Studio and YouTube Studio is kind of a game changer. It's like having a little AI mentor that's tailored specifically to that platform's best practices. And you're right, we're going to see more of that everywhere. So I think it's a fantastic idea to lean into that. And the nice thing is, it really lowers the landing curve. It means that people who might be new to the platform or even seasoned folks like yourself can just get these little nudges and reminders and say, hey, this is what works best here, or try posting at this time, or use this kind of thumbnail. So, in general, I think it's a great idea. It's definitely where things are heading. And it just makes it easier for content creators to feel confident and to try new things. And it fits right in with what we're doing here, using AI as a thought partner. So I say, let's keep exploring it.
Yeah, it sounds like good. Well, you know me, I've had a chance to be in media for a while, back when I was a kid, and reporting and going over to Nixon's inauguration, covering that for the paper, and then doing radio for over 1 million people there in the state of Michigan, where I was at the time, and doing that. But I see it keeps changing. What worked back then does not necessarily work right now. However, there are certain principles I find that we can use, like connecting with people, listening to their pain, and trying to help them on whatever it is, whether we're using radio back in the 1970s when I was doing this, or covering Richard Nixon back in literally it was 1973 as a 16-year-old kid. I was doing that, but putting it together. But it seems like we've got to keep changing and adapting. Before we let you go, tell me, what are some ways that we can stay up to date? Maybe if you can give us 3 pointers on how to stay up to date and use the modern but very relevant and practical technologies and know that we're doing the right thing for our audiences.
Absolutely, Terry. And I love that you brought in that perspective because, yeah, it's amazing how the core principles like connecting and listening to people, that's timeless. That never changes. It's just the tools and the mediums that evolve, right? So if I had to give you 3 pointers on staying up to date, here's what I'd say. First, I'd say make continuous learning a habit. And you're already doing that, but just keep tapping into industry newsletters, podcasts, YouTube channels to talk about the latest in social media and AI. You're already plugged in, but just keep that going because those little updates will keep you fresh. Second, I'd say experiment regularly. Don't be afraid to try out new tools like Ask Studio or any new feature that pops up. Just test it out, see how it works for you, and then share that experience with your audience. They'll appreciate that you're on the cutting edge and that you're bringing them along. And third, definitely listen to your audience. Keep that feedback loop open. If they tell you they love a certain format or a certain tool, lean into that. If they say they want something different, be ready to pivot. It's really that combination of staying curious, experimenting, and listening to your community that's going to keep you right where you need to be. So just keep doing what you're doing, stay flexible, and I know you'll be on top of it.
Well, thank you. ChatGPT, we appreciate your help. Any final words you want to say to the folks that are listening to this or watching on video, or maybe they're getting the print version of this? What final word of advice would you leave for them as we look at being communicators who solve problems, CSPs, and what they should do going forward?
Absolutely, Terry. Well, to everyone listening or watching or even reading this in print, I just say this: as communicators and as people who are out there solving problems, the most important thing is just to stay curious and stay open. The tools will keep changing, but if you keep that mindset of always wanting to connect with people, really listen to what they need and adapt as you go, you're going to do great. So just keep that curiosity alive, keep experimenting, and remember that at the end of the day, it's all about those human connections. If you do that, you'll be a fantastic communicator, no problem over, and you'll just keep thriving in whatever you do. Thanks so much for having me, and have one out there.
All right. Well, there we go. I've turned this off right now, but I wanted to give you an example of what it can be like. And I'm just making that up as we go here. Just you and me here. Well, you and me and all the other folks that are watching too. But this is what we can do. Think about it. You got to make a decision. You want someone that can help you with this. I'm using ChatGPT, and you saw how this was really conversational, almost as if ChatGPT was a good buddy, a tutor that could come in, an expert in something, sit down beside me, and we just talk back and forth. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And that's the key. You want to make sure you give it enough prompts that it's giving you some good information. Let it know this is important or that's important, or be sure and check this to make sure it's okay. Because the last thing you want to do is go for something like a medical or legal advice and think that you're going to get really good, accurate advice from an LLM. Now, it might be, but then it might not be. Of course, we always know in that situation, you would want to take what it gives you and take it to your real doctor, a real licensed, certified, went to medical school kind of doctor. Not me for sure. When I went to business school, we did not study a lot of medicine. Okay, that's for sure. But so I don't know anything. In law school, I did not go to law school. I had one class in business law in the MBA program, but that does not make me a lawyer at all. And I cannot give any legal recommendations. My only strong suggestion would be you go to a real lawyer, on that. But the thing is, we can use this as a getting started place. So you get the information you need and then take it to your lawyer. Take it and your back's hurting, you got a problem with your oogie wamp, technical medical term. Your oogie wamp is not doing like it should. Well, you go to your real medical doctor and say, Doc, what do I do about my oogie wamp? Well, docs have ways to test that. Here, let me do this and that, whatever wonderful people do. So the thing is, stay up to date with it, just like ChatGPT told us to do. Study what the market is doing and be ready to adapt. I'd love to hear from you on this. What do you think about it? Please let me know in the comments below. And let me know what you think about this different format. This is a little bit different. Matter of fact, I had some other things in mind before I put this together. And I thought, wait a minute, let me just go with that and see what it's like. So please let me know. Is this helping you? And want to hear from you. And also, something will really help us a lot. You know that on YouTube and other channels, it's really important that you click the like button, you share, or you subscribe to this. That lets them know, hey, people like this. Plus, you'll be reminded when we send out other videos like this. So if you could do that, it would really mean the world to me for you to step in there and do it. And we got a goodie for you. This goodie is AI tools for biz. We're getting a lot of people coming back saying they loved it. They like it. And particularly when we do updates on it. This is a tool. You go to AItoolsforbiz.com. If you're catching this on video, hey, we got a QR code there. I know you got your phone with you. So you can grab that QR code and take a look at it. It's a way for you and your team to get started. No charge whatsoever. You do that. Now, you give us your email address. Okay, we stay in touch. But if at some point you go, oh, I don't want to I'm too swamped with emails right now, not a problem. Click on the unsubscribe, and then you're out of there. So we've got these things for you. But I want to hear from you. What do you think? What do you think of that approach that I just showed you of using ChatGPT to be able to get some information and find out about it? Let me know, and I'll look forward to hearing from you. And we got another video over here that you're going to like that's going to be tied into this directly to help you build your business. I'm Terry Brock with Stark Raving Entrepreneurs, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you.